All right, so for part 2 of this, we are going to continue with the idea that our hypotenuse is going to be pink. I already put my dots for the dot shortcut on my on my right angle, and those again become the legs that I'm worried about when this is the hypotenuse. So 38 is labeled and I'm looking to find x. So 38 is my reference angle or my theta. So when I'm trying to do this, the first thing I want to do is I want to decide which of these am I going to use. Am I going to use sine, cosine, or tangent? So I'm going to show you kind of like how you can do this a little bit easier than maybe you've been. I'm looking at this angle here. So I ask myself, is x attached to it or is it opposite it? And it's obviously attached to it. So I'm going to highlight that. I'm sorry, I lose my voice, in yellow. And I now have adjacent and hypotenuse. And when I look at this list, I ask myself, which one of these, sine, cosine, or tangent, uses adjacent and hypotenuse? And hopefully we can all agree that that's cosine. So I'm going to say that the cosine of 38 equals whatever the adjacent is over the hypotenuse. I'm literally writing the cosine of 38 is the adjacent over the hypotenuse. And my job is to solve for x, and I'm going to leave this in this format as long as I possibly can. So I'm really just going to do cross multiply. Okay, and if you looked at those earlier videos, you know this already, but for some people you're still a little lost and I want to be real specific. So I'm going to cross multiply and I'm going to get x equals 21 times the cosine of 38. And then at this point you're going to take your calculator. Please make sure that you are in degree mode. It has to be in degree mode or it is not going to work. And you are literally going to type in 21 multiplication symbol cosine 38 equals, and you're going to get back a number that you round to the nearest tenth, and you're going to get x equals 16 and 5/10. Now if you're having trouble, if you can get it to this point but you can't get this to work, what I want you to do is tell me what calculator you're using. We may just need to, change that up. Maybe go to a specific online calculator because each calculator sometimes is a little bit different. All right, so again, I'm going to come over here and I'm going to sit and I'm going to have this be my reference angle. And I don't know what the hypotenuse is in this case, right? I don't have anything labeled here, but I can say that this is my adjacent. And I can see that 25 is on the opposite side. So if I have adjacent and opposite, I can't use the ones that have hypotenuse, so I have to use tangent. So the tangent of a 23-degree angle, oops, drive me crazy, is going to be the opposite side, which is 25, over the adjacent side, which in this case is x. Again, I need to cross multiply. So I do this and I say 25 times 1 equals x times the tangent of 23. And now my goal is to solve for x, so I'm going to divide both sides by this tangent of 23. And again, don't change that into a number yet. Leave it in this format as long as you possibly can. So now your x is going to be 25 divided by tan 23. So you go into your calculator and you type 25, division symbol, tan 23 equals, and you're going to get something that you round to the nearest tenth. All right, so I'm going to ask you guys to pause your video, try number 9, and then come back and see if you got it right. All right, so I just highlighted, this is my theta, this is my adjacent, and this is my opposite. So again, adjacent and opposite, I'm going to use tan. So the tangent of 57 is the opposite over the adjacent. I'm going to cross multiply. Okay, it's really x times 1. And then in your calculator, again, you're going to go through the math and round to the nearest tenth. All right. Let me know if you have any questions on that. I'm going to stop here and then I will do, oh, sorry, I lied. There's one more. There's one more side. Try number 10. If you want to pause it, go ahead. I honestly thought I was jumping to finding the missing angle. So we'll finish this out. So opposite over hypotenuse, and again, opposite over hypotenuse is sine. Okay, so sine of 31 equals 19 over x. I'm going to cross multiply. And I want to solve for x, so I'm going to need to divide by the sine of 31. That is going to move. It represents a number, so it moves in its entirety. You don't split that up. Okay. Go into your calculator, 19 divided by sine 31, and when you're finished, you should get back something that rounds to 36.9. All right, so now I'm going to stop this, and you guys can ask me questions if you need to.